Hello, we're from this Jane's Videos, and this is Nightmare House 2020, The Experiments Haunt Build Day 8. Today is October 20th, and like most days, I'm not sure what's going to be done today, but we'll find out as things progress. Hoping to get a bunch of work done on the containment unit. Hoping to get that last wall up in the laboratory. Well, I know I'll get the last wall up in the steampunk laboratory. And then, hoping that UFO will be done. We'll see what gets done today. Hopefully a lot, though. But we'll find out. First off, containment unit walls started falling. I'm not really entirely sure how that happened because they were held in place perfectly fine. But they decided to fall, so that's a problem. And I'm not very happy with that, but we'll see what happens there. So our first order of business is going to be putting those back up. So finally, the final steampunk lab wall is completed. It can be put in its place. Now this is a thicker wall, much thicker than the others, so I'm hoping the cinder blocks will work, because I can't think of another way to hold this one in place because it's in the middle of the room. Let's hope that works. Now this one, I finished painting the backside of one of the containment unit walls. Like I said, we're gonna use a paint roller on all of these from now on, because using spray paint takes up too much paint and we'd have to buy tons of it. But I had already started this one. I only had a small spot left, so I thought might as well finish it with spray paint, and I did. So the others are gonna use a paint roller, but yeah, there we go. I don't even know how many front and back I'll need, because some walls I might not even need, because I might have overestimated how many I need. So some I might not need, so maybe some I can actually put front to back to each other, so I don't have to paint front and back. So that would be really cool if I can do that, but yeah, gonna go put this up. I'm super excited to. We're gonna finally see this wall in its place. So I've got some really bad news. This wall, it works, it stays in place, but it's not enough. It does not cut the room in half like I planned. You can literally just walk right across, and I want it to cut it in half, so we're gonna need another wall, which is really, really annoying, because I thought we'd be done with walls, but it looks like we need another one. Oh well, the show must go on, except a lot easier by not carving the last wall and instead just painting it and painting the bricks onto it. That's how it's gonna go. I think it'll still look good, but that's what we're gonna do, because we can do it. Halloween is 11 days away. We do not have time to carve another wall, but I really do like, other than that gap there, which I'm gonna do something about, I really do like how this looks with the razor tail like in a corner now. I think that looks really cool. So hopefully this other wall will be done today, later today. I'm hoping, so that can go in its place and I can finally be done with these walls. Okay, so I got the final wall for the insect experiment room up, and I'm happy because they do not have much bend and they seem to fit rather well and they look nice. And they're not going to fall, because these ones fall because they're the outer ones, so the wind pushes them. These ones will not fall. So these are this is the back wall of the insect room. Now the room where the bodies are stored, the cold room, the bodies are stored for experiments where cryochamber corpse and stuff are going to go, is right up here. These are two separate rooms, so it's got to have a cutoff in the middle. So I want to finish this insect room before the cutoff is there. That way I don't have to try to weave stuff in between here with a big wall in the way. So I think it'll be in my best favor to do the insect room right now and hopefully get it completed. So we'll see where that takes us. Now I don't know what I'm going to be using for shelving in the scene yet, so that's a bit concerning, because I do need some shelves to put like insect bins and stuff on, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use for that just yet, so that's a bit concerning, but I'll figure something out. So I just found this tin cover thing, which I definitely think I could put on top of something and turn it into a table, which is pretty cool, because this looks very laboratory-like. So I'm happy that I found that. My only question is, would I want to use it in here, or would I want to use it over in that area? Because that area is going to have a lot more of the lab equipment and stuff. So it might be in my best interest to not use this one over here. So this is still very useful though, and it's very helpful. So I'm glad that I know I have that. But back here, that's still my issue, is I don't know exactly what I'm going to use for this area back here for the table. But I'll look around some more and find something. I've decided I'm going to use this white sheet and do the splatter effect that I did with the walls on it, and put that on top of something. I could honestly use a cardboard box or a couple cardboard boxes put together for this. So I can take some things out of these boxes. I know I can definitely probably use this, because this has some stuff, some props in it that are going to need to be taken out anyways, and I don't have anywhere to put these totes after I take the props out. So I think I could definitely use that, and then I can put that box on top of it to make it taller, and then I can just drape that cloth over them, and you won't be able to see their boxes. It'll just look like a table. And I think that should work pretty well, because I do have some tables that I'm going to use. I actually found, let me show you in the shed back here, I actually found the foldable table under there. But what I want to do with the foldable table is, because that has table legs that look like they might be in a lab, so I think that'll be fine if those are showing. I'm going to put the tin one that I'm going to use over here on top of that table, so I don't want to use that table yet. Because I don't even need to cover that one up, because the tin looks fine and the legs will look fine. So I don't even need to cover that one up. So all I really need to do is I just need to put these boxes on top of each other. Here, excuse me, spasm. I need to put these boxes on top of each other, which some of these boxes actually have some of the insects in them. So I would have needed to empty these right now anyways, so that's good. Just going to put those boxes on top of each other, and we're going to go from there, and I'm hoping to get this insect section done within the hour. So in order to make that table, I need to use some boxes, as I said, so that also gave me an opportunity to set up some props that I need for the haunt. So that's good. First off, none of these are actual laboratory-specific props, but I think they work for laboratory very well, so I'm using them. Smoldering zombie I'm using because I'm probably going to use him as a static, because of the smoldering effect doesn't really fit a lab aesthetic, so I'll probably just use him as a static zombie. But I'm using him because obviously zombies work well in laboratory themes, and I have a zombie experiment section of the lab. And so I need some extra zombies, and I wasn't originally planning on using him because the smoldering effect does not fit a lab aesthetic, but I think I'll use him as a static, and then he'll work perfectly fine, because you won't really see the smoldering effect. He'll just look like a zombie. I can't find his other arm right now, but even if I can't find it by Halloween, that's not really a big deal. I mean, we still have 11 days until Halloween, but even if I can't find it by Halloween, that's not a big deal, because sometimes zombies only have one arm, so I don't really think that matters, especially since it's only going to be used as a static. I got Convulsing Nurse, because nurses do work well in laboratories, because they need to tend to wounds and stuff that happen in laboratories and stuff. They have the same type of aesthetic too. They definitely, which is the reason I'm using Miss Mercy, because I feel like nurses work well in laboratories. Now, she is not going to be an experiment herself, but she's, like Miss Mercy, is an actual experiment. Convulsing Nurse is just going to be one of the lab workers, a nurse at the lab, who has been tied up or chained up in Nightcrawler's cage for him to like feast upon. So that's the deal with that. She might be a static, I don't know. Levitator Girl I'm going to be using as a static for sure, because she's going to go back here in this part of the haunt, and she's going to be right around here is where there's going to be 2 autopsy tables. There's going to be one with toe tag corpse on it. Now he's going to actually be on, but I'm going to use her as a static because the levitating effect does not make sense for a lab. I mean, it could if her experiment makes her levitate, but I don't think it works too well. I think she'll definitely be better to just be a body that's being autopsied on, because she's got the, the cloak on her and stuff, so that she's definitely going to go there as a static body that's having an autopsy done. Now over here, as you can see, I made the table. Got the tablecloth on it with the green, slimy type deal going on here. And so I used tote, box, and then 3 boxes here. That definitely clears up some space under here, which is good, and puts them to good use. So yeah, I'm going to start decorating that. I think it's going to look pretty cool. I'm going to have to turn my insect guy this direction a bit, just so he's more facing guests when they walk into this scene. There, that looks better. But yeah, I'm excited to get some stuff up here. I'm thinking jumping bug is gonna go on one of these, maybe right here, I don't know. I want jumping bug on one so he comes face to face with guests, whereas the UV spider will probably be more so on the ground. I don't even know if I'll turn the UV spider on. I don't know, because 2 jumping props in one room might be kind of weird, but we'll see what happens there. I think jumping bug should be a pretty good scare in here, though, since he's going to be high up. He's going to come face to face with guests. I like that. Really like how this scene is turning out so far. Like I said, this scene's going to be blacklit, so I'm excited to get that blacklight in there. I'm hoping to do that tonight, to see how it looks better, of course, but I'm hoping to do that. I think it's going to look pretty cool with the blacklight and everything in this scene. Alright, so let me show you what has been done. First off, one of these divider walls is in place. I'm super happy that it is. Like it. So that divides this front scene from what this scene is going to be, which is the alien containment room. So Area 31 capsule is going to be in there. And then, in just a moment, I'm going to put up this divider, which is going to divide this front room, the cold room, where the bodies are stored for experiments, from the insect experiment room. So here's the insect experiment room so far. We've got the spider climbing the wall. I don't know if I showed that earlier. Of course, my insect man, which I absolutely love. The walls with the slime dripping. And then I put Spider Baby here. Originally I was going to put him in like a tank or a cage or something, but they're so expensive that I'm just not going to do that. I think he's fine just sitting there. I don't know. I might not even use him because he's kind of cheesy in a way. And here is a container that is kind of tipped over because I'm going to have some cockroaches crawling out of that. And then we got, and here is this bin, which has been painted, and the centipede is kind of crawling out of that one. And then jumping bug is right here, so he should startle a lot of people. I'm going to test him in just a moment. Once we get this wall in, we'll see how wide this path is. I think it's a lot wider of a path than I originally expected it to be, which is a good thing. So I really like this scene so far. I can't wait to get the lighting in it. I think that's going to really bring it to life. I don't know where to put the lighting yet, though. I would want to hang it from the ceiling, but I don't know where I could do that, in all honesty. And I don't know if that would be easy to do it. We'll find out what's going to happen with that, but I'm hoping I can hang it from the ceiling, because I think that'll look cool. But this is the insect room so far. Also, this wall out here, like I said, there was going to need to be an extra wall in the steampunk lab. This has been painted front and back. Just needs to be, like I said, it's not going to be carved. The spray paint deteriorates foam anyways, so I'm going to spray paint the things on there, and then it's going to deteriorate it anyways, and it will make it look more corroded, so that'll work. But yeah, this is, obviously, remember, no guest is going to see the backs of those at all, because there's going to be covering there, so no guest will see that. Let's get this divider wall in so we can get the first and second room's walls up, basically. Not fully, really, but you know what I mean. Let's do it. Alright, so I got this first section. I actually had to cut this one, so it made a big gap there because part of it got cut unevenly, but I used cinder blocks for the bottom. For some of them I am using cinder blocks, for some I'm not. It really depends on how much a certain one can take, because some of them, the cinder blocks help, some of them cinder blocks don't help. It depends on the position. But I cut the tops off of these ones so these ones don't bend. And let me tell you, it works a lot better. So I might actually cut the tops off of these ones. I mean, these ones, it doesn't really matter. But I might cut the tops off of these ones because these ones, as you know, my issue with them is that they're bending. And these ones are right next to the wood piece, so they could actually just be hammered into the wood, I think, and that would keep them in place. The ones on the back walls, I'm going to bend them because that's the best way to keep them in place. But the ones on these walls, there's other ways to do it. Now that wall over there has clamps holding it in place. That's what I did with this one. I had a clamp hold it in place because it's right on the post here. So that works perfectly at holding this one in place. And then obviously this one's cinder blocks, and it's kind of on a tilt, but I actually kind of like that. It kind of makes it look more run down and deteriorated. It's kind of caving in on you. Of course, it's not going to fall on guests, but yeah, it's very secure like this, which is the good thing about it. Just got to get it in the right position sometimes still, but it's very secure, which I really, really like. So as you can see, this is actually a much longer pathway than I anticipated for this specific scene, but that's not a bad thing at all. The insect room kind of bleeds into the alien room, but that's fine. I don't really see a problem with that. I think that might actually work well. But yeah, this works. Now there is still a bit of a gap here sometimes. You can kind of see it sometimes because these move around sometimes with the wind. It really depends on where the wind's hitting. But that's not an issue because you got to remember, for the haunt, there's not going to be a bright light there. You'll just be seeing like a little sliver into the insect room is what you'll see. And so it's not really going to look bad. You're just going to see some creepy stuff beyond the wall, but there's nothing wrong with that. Right now it just looks kind of dumb when it does that. Like, same with here, there's a little hole here, but on Halloween, Area 31 capsule is going to be there. Actually, before Halloween, obviously, but Area 31 capsule is going to be there, so you'll just see the sliver of him. It's not going to be a patio. But I'm pretty happy that I got some walls up in the containment unit. It's making me really happy that that was done. So, cryo chamber corpse, my good buddy right here, is going to go right there. And then the body hanging, I don't know where I'm going to put that yet. I'm thinking over here just so it doesn't hit anyone in the head, because that was my worry with that, is I don't want it to hit anyone in the head and anyone get hurt. So I think hanging it there would be a risk. Hanging it here, over in the corner here, I think would probably be the safest option. Because over here, which is originally where I was going to hang it, this is where people have to walk, so I think that's a risk. So I don't want to do that. So it's either going to hang there, or I could actually hang it over here above cryo chamber, which I might not like because it might look kind of weird with it hanging above him and two jump scares right next to each other. But I think I might do that. I don't know. Really all depends. And then containment unit sign is going to be hung there when I do it. So as you can see, the containment unit is coming together, and this is what guests will see when they're walking into it. Obviously the sign will be there, UFO will be crashed into the roof and all that good stuff. This is what guests will see besides that. Remember, that's going to be covered, but this is what the first look that guests will have on the actual inside of it. This is what they're going to see. So they will be able to see the insect guy, which I think is pretty creepy. But yeah, coming along well with this containment unit part of the haunt. Obviously the main steampunk lab still isn't done, but let me show you what I have to do in there. Actually, I just remembered I put command strips in there earlier to hang stuff. I could actually do that now because it says to take an hour for them to before you stick anything on them. It's been well over an hour. I can actually do that now. So we're gonna go in here and get that done, because that's a good thing. Plague Doctor's still here, whatever. Yeah, oh geez, I just remembered that I can do that now. Now diagrams are going to go back there, a razor tail one and another one, I don't know which one yet. I got the poster board for that tonight. My mom's going to draw those because she's a good artist and I'm not, so I think she'll do better at those. But these command strips are going to hold some diagrams that I already have, so let me get those and put those up. Alright, there we go, we got those hung up and I like that quite a bit. These skeletal diagrams definitely add some more detail, makes this look a lot better. So we've got the skull. It labels all the parts of the skull and stuff. This is really cool. I got this at Michael's quite a few years back. Glad I get to use it in the haunt this year. And then we've got this one, which labels pieces of the skeleton. So I think these definitely look pretty freaking cool in here. Definitely add more detail to it. Obviously the diagrams of the actual experiments, some of them are going to go here. I'm thinking some will be laid out on the table here, like they're getting written, or not getting written, but they're just kind of left on the table, you know. Now I have another adhesive here, or command strip, but I was going to have this one good. Oh, that was my worry. There's two different slots for high voltage, and I only put one command strip. That was my worry with this. So I'm going to have to take that off and hope that it can be reapplied and stay there. And then luckily I have another one, but I'm hoping that will, actually if it can't be reapplied, I have some extra here, so that's not an issue. I should be fine then. I just won't, then I'll have to wait another hour for that to do that, but whatever. Like I said, high voltage is going to go here. Let's see if that's a good spot. Yeah, I like that. It's nice. Okay, so high voltage is going to go there. I'm going to see how that goes. The other wall is going to be put in tomorrow because it needs to be spray painted, and I ran out of black spray paint, so that's not going to be put in today. That's going to be put in tomorrow, but I'm excited to get it in tomorrow because then this scene can almost be complete. After that, all that's left to do with this scene is to put sewer varmint here, get the giant gears up, which have not been made yet, but those will be made sometime this week. Put the giant gears up here. Put Rusty, the robot, somewhere over here. And add a little bit more detailing, you know, add some more test tubes and stuff. But that would basically be it. Also, I gotta get the cage for him and the cage for the cat, but there's not much more to do with this first scene. I mean, yeah, there is quite a few things to do with it, but it's not like, I'd say this first scene is close to being finished, which is pretty cool. Because that means once I get this first scene finished, I can just completely focus on the containment unit and then get that finished. And do the whole plant experiment room, and the zombie experiment room is probably not going to be done until like 2 days before because there's not very much detailing in that scene. Most of that's just zombies standing around with some toxic waste stuff, but there's not too much detailing. Same with the plant room. That shouldn't take long. My only issue is building the greenhouse. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because I obviously can't have it looking like a garden. It's still got to have the lab vibe. So it's got to be a greenhouse that's got like siren lights and stuff. Like it's still a part of the lab, so it's still got to look like that. So that's going to be kind of difficult. But yeah, I'm happy that this scene is almost completed. That's pretty cool. Excited to get the cages for these two because I think that'll look cool. But anyways, enough with my blabbering about this scene almost being completed. I think I should redo this adhesive now so I can try to get it on tonight. First off, before I show anything, let me just say this idea with these walls is not working. They keep going in and out. So I think I am going to cut them and then put cinder blocks because, you know, this is not good. It worries me every time they move. They actually pushed that one and caused that piece that was holding it on to break, so this piece broke off, so I had to secure it another way. So this is, it's scary. It's really scary, but we're gonna see what happens. Anyways, cryo chamber corpse is in its spot, obviously not on yet. I still need to get all the wiring figured out for this whole containment unit. But he's in his spot, so that's good at least. This is where he's going to go. He's going to go at an angle here to scare people when they walk in. This room is going to be one of the most empty rooms in the haunt. There's not much in it, but there doesn't need to be much in it. My lighting for this room, I'm going to hang it from there, that hook there, and it's going to be a blue floodlight to create the effect that it's the cold room where the bodies are stored and frozen for experiments. Obviously why cryo chamber is in here. So yeah, I already showed this. I figured out where I'm going to put the UV jumping spider. I'm going to put him right there because that cinder block will hold him in place. So I think that's a good spot for him. That way that side can at least have some stuff on it instead of just this side. I decided to put him right here instead because right there was absolutely a disaster waiting to happen. Not only would someone probably kick him, so that was the disaster part. But also it didn't look good because he wasn't as noticeable and he would draw unwanted attention to the cinder block. So I think he's a lot better right here. I prefer this big time. I am going to use both of them on because I feel like, you know, a lot of people have seen the jumping spider. Everyone knows what that is. So they'll get a little jump out of it because it's right when they turn the corner. So they'll get a little jump out of it. They'll get a little scared because it's also kind of hidden. But not many people know about the jumping bug, so I think that'll catch them by surprise. They're not going to think he's going to do the same thing. So I think both jump scares will be effective and catch them by surprise. So I'm going to use both of them on because, you know, why not? I think it'll definitely get a good scare out of them. So yeah. Anyways, that is it for today's haunt build video. Quite a bit of progress done today, I must say. I mean, we got one whole scene of the haunt basically done, other than the cockroaches I'm going to add in there. We got one whole scene basically done here. And then we've got another one almost done as soon as I put the light and then the hanging corpse. Well, then again, when I say done, I'm not including lighting because obviously lighting has to go in here. So we got the detailing and props on one scene completely done, which is cool, and I'm happy about that. I'm really thinking tomorrow will be even more productive than today because I didn't have any help today because my dad worked. He went to work early, so he was too tired to help today. Well, my mom painted that last steampunk lab wall for me, but other than that, I didn't get too much help today. So mostly it was just me working today, so it wasn't as productive as days where I'm going to get help. I think tomorrow, my dad definitely plans to help, so hopefully tomorrow we'll get a lot of stuff done. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings with the haunt builds. I really think tomorrow is going to be a really productive day. And the first thing that we got to do tomorrow is do something about those walls, which I'm not looking forward to, but look at that. That's ridiculous. The wind pushes them in. These inside walls, they're fine. I did, like I said, I had a little issue with this one, but that's because this one pushed up against it when the wind pushed this one. If these ones are fine for the most part because they're inside, they're secluded. These ones are definitely fine. But then you've got these outer ones where every time the wind blows, it pushes them. And they are going to fall over because they've fallen over once. They'll do it again. Well, they've fallen over more than once, I think. And that's an issue. So those will need to be fixed in a better way. Cinder blocks, probably my plan, and nailing them in at the top. I think that'll do pretty well. I think that'll work much better than just relying on the ceiling and the roof. The only ones that I'm going to do that with from now on are going to be the back wall ones. The center wall ones are ones I'm nervous about, but it worked well with these two using the cinder blocks. Obviously, anyone that's connected to the side here is going to use the clamps. And then any of them that are going along that way but not connected to the side, we got bigger clamps for those ones to connect them to the top beams. So that should work pretty well. But I'm a little bit nervous about these center ones here because there's got to be a center one. Where is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be... Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here. Okay, there's going to be one here, I believe. Then there's going to be another one right here. And then there's going to be, I believe, two right here. So those are going to be a little annoying. So I need four of those. Yeah, I need 4 of those. I'm not looking forward to those ones because, like I said, I don't really know what I'm going to do for them, but we'll figure something out. We'll see what happens, but really loving this area, and it's not giving me any trouble wall-wise, so that just makes me like it even more because there's no troubles with the walls. But yeah, that was it for today's haunt build video. Hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for tomorrow because things will get ramped up quite a bit. Was that a bug that just flew into here? I don't even know. Things will get ramped up quite a bit, so stay tuned for tomorrow. I hope you all enjoyed. Keep howling at the moon, my werewolves.
See you next time, friend.